Promotions are not earned, they are selected. Performance keeps you employed, it does not move you up. If promotions worked the way you were told, the hardest workers would rise fastest. They don't. If they worked based on impact, the people who fix the most problems would advance. They stay put. If merit mattered, competence would correlate with title. It doesn't. The criteria you were given are not what's being used. Official promotion criteria exist for documentation. They are written to survive audits and HR reviews. They justify decisions that have already been made. They do not guide them. The rubric says leadership, collaboration, initiative, results. Those words mean different things to different people at different times. They flex, they accommodate, they protect the outcome. You met the criteria and didn't get promoted because the criteria are not the filter. Someone else got promoted without meeting them because the real filter was already applied. High performance stabilizes operations. It makes teams predictable. It reduces manager workload. Promoting the high performer removes that stability. The system does not reward you for being good at your job. It depends on you being good at your job. Dependence is not rewarded. It is maintained. Managers avoid operational risk. Losing a high performer creates gaps, delays, and exposure. Keeping them in place protects the manager's standing. The performer stays because moving them is expensive. Performance is the floor. It qualifies you to stay. It does not differentiate you for advancement. Being reliable taught them to ignore you. Every time you handled something without escalation, you trained leadership that you did not require attention. Every time you solved a problem quietly, you made yourself procedural. Every time you delivered without drama, you became infrastructure. Infrastructure is not promoted, it is assumed. The person who needed more check-ins got more visibility. The person who created minor emergencies got more face time. The person who required reassurance got more access. You thought low maintenance was professionalism. It was invisibility. The system learned exactly how long you would wait. Promotions go to people who reduce uncertainty. They go to people leadership already trusts. People who have demonstrated alignment. People who reinforce existing structures instead of questioning them. People whose behavior is predictable under pressure. Trust is not about competence. Trust is about knowing what someone will do when no one is watching. It is about confidence that they will not destabilize, contradict, or complicate. Leaders promote people who make them feel secure, not people who make them think. Speaking up disqualifies you. Honesty introduces variables. It creates friction. It forces decisions that were being deferred. Leaders do not promote friction. They isolate it. When you tell the truth about a broken process, you become associated with the problem. When you identify risks others ignored, you become the person who complicates planning. When you name what is not working, you become difficult. Being right does not matter. Being right at the wrong time makes you a liability. Promotions are risk calculations. The person who tells the truth is unpredictable. Unpredictability is risk. Risk is not promoted. Competence alone is a threat. Highly competent people make gaps visible. They expose inefficiency by contrast. They set a standard others cannot meet. That creates pressure. Pressure creates discomfort. Discomfort creates complaints. Complaints create management overhead. The competent person is valued in their role, but promoting them spreads the standard. It raises expectations. It forces underperformers into visibility. Leaders avoid this. They promote people who will not destabilize the average. People who will manage without exposing the system's limits. People who can be trusted not to make others look bad. Power prefers containable competence. Excellence without alignment is a threat to everyone above you. You were told promotions reward merit. That belief serves a function. It keeps people trying. It keeps them hoping. It keeps them attributing failure to themselves instead of structure. It delays the moment they stop believing the system will recognize them. The myth is not an accident. It is operational. If people understood that promotions select for political alignment and risk reduction, they would stop performing beyond their pay grade. They would stop volunteering. They would stop waiting. The system depends on effort it does not intend to reward. Belief sustains that effort. Confusion sustains belief. You were not confused because you were naive. You were confused because clarity would have changed your behavior. Your patience was a signal. Your professionalism was compliance. Your willingness to wait was exactly what they were measuring. The criteria are not fake because someone lied. They are fake because they describe the wrong process. They describe what the system wants you to believe matters. They do not describe what actually determines selection. What actually determines selection is whether promoting you protects or threatens the people making the decision. Do you make your manager look good without making them feel inadequate? Do you enforce culture without naming its contradictions? Do you absorb blame without creating visibility? Do you execute without questioning priority? Those are the questions. They are not written down. Your manager has a manager. That manager has goals your manager is responsible for. Your promotion is only useful if it serves those goals. It does not serve those goals if you are too competent. It does not serve them if you are too honest. It does not serve them if you require too much explanation or create too much comparison pressure. You are promoted when your elevation makes someone else's life easier, not when your contribution makes the company better. Those two things overlap occasionally. They do not overlap reliably. Every workplace has someone who got promoted quickly. That person is not exceptional. They are legible. They mirror leadership's communication style. They adopt leadership's priorities without resistance. They manage perceptions as carefully as they manage work. They do not outperform everyone. They out-align everyone. Legibility often looks like competence that knows when to stop. Mediocrity that does not threaten comparison. Capability that has already accepted its ceiling. You were comparing output. Leadership was comparing predictability. You thought promotions were about being good. They are about being safe. You thought visibility mattered. It does, but only the right kind. The kind that reassures, not the kind that challenges. You thought honesty would be valued. It is not. It is tolerated when convenient and penalized when inconvenient. You thought working harder would be enough. Hard work makes you useful. Useful is not the same as promotable. Once you see what promotions actually select for, your past stops feeling random.